Your projects, sorry, Before the Fame and Floor 13 were, kind of early milestones in your career that really made a splash in the music scene, I feel like at least. How did how did you view those projects when they first came out?
So that, when I made Before the Fame, I had like a few songs on there that people loved, but that was like really like the beginning of me like figuring out my sound. So I had one song that actually got me a little bit of clout in Toronto called Mention.
Okay.
And yeah, like even when I would travel outside the city and I would meet people, they'd be like, oh yeah, I listened to that song. And I'll be like, what the fuck? So that...
But how does that make you feel though?
Obviously amazing, because people are actually listening. It's like you're far out of like your city and people are still hearing you, you know what I mean? And like that was like the beginning of me just like working closely with certain producers, hands-on, like in the studio, making the beats, because I would co-produce a lot of my stuff. So we'd just be sitting in the studio at like either 2, 3 a.m., 10 p.m., 10 a.m., just in the studio and just cooking up, writing, making beats, everything. So that's kind of how that project came along. And then Floor 13, I feel like Floor 13 was like a bigger milestone for me just because like the intention and like the era and what it did. I feel like Floor 13 kind of solidified like a cult listening, a small cult listening for me, where people were really like, yo, I can relate to this guy, and like, yo, your music is actually helping me get through some dark times. And it's like, I made that when I was going through some shit and just trying to like figure shit out. And a lot of that project, I wasn't really, like some of that project, I was sent, the beats were made by my boy A Money, who produced my new upcoming project, Void Music. But yeah, a lot of that I recorded alone, just with my engineer solo. Just on the weekends, I would get like some guap every weekend and just go to the studio every weekend and record those songs. And just me and my studio alone, me and my engineer alone in the studio, just locking in. And yeah, so those milestones made me feel pretty dope though, because like people really heard those projects and like fucked with me from it. And I was just dropping, I wasn't thinking too hard, you know what I mean? I wasn't worried about numbers, I wasn't worried about shit. I just dropped that and like people were fucking with it. So yeah, that's all you can really ask for at those times, you know?
Fact.